Yeah, that's what I want to know.
So here's an important factor that I'm sure people would like to know about is like, what are some of your influences and make you surf the way you surf? Because a lot of people all love to watch Mason surf because you never know what you're going to do. If it's a hang five floater or what was it, cross step hang five floater, or do a big air. I've surfed with you multiple times in the wave pool and seen you do stuff that's like the dog piss backside grab, like throw your back foot off and
Just feeling what was easy and cool, but that thing was like,
it.
just went, yeah, that felt fun though.
the Christ air. I don't know if anybody did a Christ air.
Yeah, nice one. No, early, just, that was fun.
So what?
A couple fun ones.
Tell us about where you get these things and like what your influence.
Well, you know, you're like, of course, your family, right? Like, or like, because your dad's movies. Like, to be honest, like my very, very first memories of surfing are like, I think all the Wave Warriors movies. Because I was born in '88, and I think they were coming out like '83, '80. I mean, even
all
before
the '90s, yeah.
Yeah, but I just remember like
early '90s.
I just remember. Were they early '90s? What about Wave Warriors 1? Wasn't
That
that
was in the early
83?
But it took a year. It took a
Thompson.
year or two to make them.
Okay.
Because they were filmed, so it wasn't like it just happened. It was like you'd film for a whole season, and then by like the end of the next season, because you had to get it all cut and spliced.
Didn't you
And
have to like put the music and then get it out, and then you'd see it after, like how you cut them? You like
my dad would have to drive to LA to go to the big film places, and then have it all processed and have it cut down and snipped, and then he'd make the music, and it was like a full deal. But he always promoted, you know, Michael, Derek, Dane, Johnny Boy. And then all the radical surfers. Anything that was radical, he was behind. He was really behind all the Hawaiians, you know. And
Dude, your dad changed my life.
yeah, so
I want to give him.
he made my life.
Every time, right? He made your life. He changed many others.
And your dad,
he like guided mine. That's cool. There's cool little like ping pong.
Well, he helped. So that's another fun fact too. Is we could get to all that, but my dad with Astrodec was the first person to ever pay Michael Ho, Mason's dad.
Yeah.
And I think it was like $300 a month. And so Michael got his first checks from my dad, and then he went to Victory and said, told Victory that Herbie was paying him $600, and so they matched it. So then he was making $600 from Victory, $300 from Astrodec, and that's how he said then he was a pro surfer. So.
And then he told Rabbit, and then they got like Smirnoff, and then they went.
Well, yeah, other people were probably getting stuff, you know, but like I think Sean Thompson was the first person to get paid by a sponsor, maybe $500 a month. But this conversation and relationship goes way before me. It started with both of our dads.
Right.
And
I'd always hear Dad's side.
yeah, I would hear my dad's side.
Yeah, I love it. How lucky are we?
Yeah, no.
Hey, your dad made those movies so perfect. Just like did he just pull in kids? He pulled in kids and adults.
Yeah, everything from Brian Pacheco's in there to.
Oh, imagine Brian on this team.
Yeah, so Brian to, I mean, just the gnarliest guys. And that was another thing. It wasn't
Brian.
Yeah, me, Brian Colony, and this guy Chris Robinson.
Yeah.
But
that segment was my dream.
It was a time when, you know, photographers weren't allowed to shoot, or you couldn't go to certain spots, and you couldn't promote people because everything was so regulated. And if you didn't have like a clearance of respect with certain people, you wasn't allowed to yard. And so there was no way you could go film. And so that was the medium, and that's why my dad traversed. And it was before Momentum and all that kind of stuff, because that was a whole different era.
Wave Warriors.
But it was Wave Warriors were like Marvin Foster, Michael Hodey, all these people where it was like, just to get into the yard, to be able to film these guys and then produce it and promote them. That was a big deal. And so, and then, I mean, as far as the traction goes, it was all, and the reason he did that was because if he had this traction, the only way he could pay these people was to promote them in these movies. So it was like a give and take thing where, so to get into Wave Warriors, and those were all the first people riding the traction, and then it came, there's so much, but it's all, this is about Mason, but those are things that people should.
Yeah, I always try and hug your dad, as far as Mason there goes, like, I always try and hug your dad, like, extra hugs, because I know, like, I swear, when I was a kid growing up, there was like all the tapes, you know, he even had the shiny silver with the blue. You know, he even got me with that. Like, I didn't even know. I remember being a kid and just looking at all the labels, not even
playing with a rapper.
Like, even into the wrapper, like, or I don't know if he like or whatever, but it was just a shiny silver. You know, with the Wave Warriors and the asterisk. I was just like,
That was the one with Marvin in the front.
yeah. And even just the tape, I would lose the cover, but just the tape, I remember it was silver.
Yes.
Shiny. I was just like, and then then watching Christian and Archie's segment and Justin when they're doing the airs and stuff. I'd go like on the curb, you know, all the curbs on the North Shore, like just a little curb, I'd go and just think I was like Archie, like trying to do it. And then I'd tell him, oh, it's like the Archie. But I'd be like, oh, Archie segment, what about Pop segment?
Pops and beats.
No, I'd be like, oh, yeah, like Archie, like bad Archie Pop. You know, like on the curb, the backside disaster. A couple disasters. Archie. Christian. Yeah, but I only say Matt because Christian was goofy, and my friend was goofy. Aaron Pacheco, that was goofy, so he'd be Christian. I'd be Archie, and then my dad would say, hey, what about Pops? And then I'd go, oh, you didn't see me pulling over there on the trees? Like the trees were overgrowing, that was my Pops. And so, but I swear your dads, that's why I hug Uncle Herbie every time. And I love you guys so much.
Yeah, well, the feeling's
Maybe surfer.
All right, and so we got to the rocks, we got to some influences, we got to your dad, my dad.
Oh, that's the best one.
So, and what about you and Rory? Because you guys have a great, they have a great, so Mason's filmer is Rory Pringle, and they're the ones who make all their YouTube videos. And personally, it's my favorite because there's no talking. It's the opposite of what
we're gonna keep it like that. I keep getting everyone's like talk. I'm like, I want to save the talk for the Rip Crow edit. So it's not like just go to my YouTube. At least you go to my YouTube. He's like, I'm trying to be like this, like. But you go to Rip Crow edits. I'm just like, so it's like Rip Crow.
But the other thing is there,
No, and the music.
The music, yes, because it's like so music. That's another thing. Music,
couple waves.
That's beautiful. And then Rory, they grew up together, and they've created a great team, and it's been super interesting to watch. And I love to watch it. My kids watch it. We watch like the greatest hits, or like this and that. It's all the slams. The longer one. And that goes too. Like, what about the covers on your board?
Whoa, yeah, no, well that comes from just like when I was a kid, like dreaming, like when I was like your kid's age, seeing Uncle Derek's boardrooms, or even Dad's, and even like yours and Christian's stuff, right? You guys would always have like crazy colors on your boards.
I love color.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I just used to love walking into someone's like boardroom, and I had all the uncles that were pro surfers, you know? So just see who had the most colors, you know. And Uncle Derek always had mental colors, so
he always had Rasta.
That's why I wasn't even like Rasta when I was a kid. That I didn't know I was, but I didn't even know. But red, yellow, green was my favorite. You know, and everybody'd be like, oh, what? I'm like, I don't know. I love it. It's embedded. I don't even know why. I don't want my fins red, yellow, green. Last everyone would be like, wow, you're like 11 years old. Why do you want red, yellow, green? I was like, my uncle. And they're like, oh yeah. But anyway, I just remember the colored quivers. Like everyone, even you and your brother and everyone would have the colored boards, and the dream always turned into like, well, I want to just have the colored boards, you know. But now now that I'm an adult.